The top 10 first issues debuting this week on Wednesday, April 14th, 2021. Hey everyone, it's vmcampos Comic Book Fan, and welcome to the latest episode of the weekly vmcampos Comic Book Club. This is a series where I count down the top 10 issues that are debuting this week, the first issues debuting this week that you need to know about. Now, if you wanted to know about them early before they debuted, you should have been subscribed to the YouTube and paying attention to my shorts that come out every Friday, that at 1 minute at a time I alert you to the comics that are coming soon. These are the ones that are coming out this week, so if you didn't pre-order them at your local comic shop, you might not get them. That's why you want to subscribe to the channel, because I'll keep you up to date with all of that. You're welcome. Let's get on with the list. Alright, starting off at number 10, we've got from IDW Publishing. Now, what's the title of this officially? Lock and Key, SANDMAN, Hell and Gone #1, even though on the actual comic I don't quite see that full subtitle. But anyway, this is a joint collab between various properties of the SANDMAN universe being published by IDW instead of DC Comics. But anyway, we've got written by Joe Hill and Neil Gaiman. Wow, that's cool. Art, this is the cover art as well by Gabriel Rodriguez. If you think you can unlock the gates of hell and just invite yourself in, you must be dreaming. The epic crossover between two of the most beloved fantasy universes in comics begins here. So it's issue #1, it's $6.99. Very cool cover right here if you get a close-up of that. Plus interior artwork. There's some scary stuff going over here, especially with this evil, scary thing coming out of the well. So scary. So I picked it as number 10 this week. At number 11, going over to Image Comics, I picked Jules Verne, The Lighthouse, #1 of 5. So Jules Verne, of course, is the author from the 1890s, the late 1800s. All his work is public domain, so we can make cool comics and other media about it nowadays. And here we've got David Hine as the writer, plus Brian Haberling. This is the regular art, and we've got interior art by Brian Haberlin and Gerard Van Dyke. At the edge of the galaxy, there is a giant supercomputer known as the Lighthouse, the only brain powerful enough to navigate through a sargasso of naturally occurring wormholes, potentially cutting months or even years off a spaceship's journey. So we've got some interior art here. It's very cool. I like the layouts of it. We have this sense of, okay, it's in space, but, you know, we've got the grizzled captain and the first mate or whatever. I think I like the expressions and the anatomy of the characters as well. That looks like pretty cool. I am Captain Congreve of the Free State of Libertaria. So yeah, cool interior art on this. Enjoying it. But for number 9, I picked Jules Verne's Lighthouse, #1 of 5. Okay, full disclosure, I didn't love CANTO, the original series that debuted a few years ago. I picked up issue 1, second printing. I didn't love the story, I didn't love it. But then it went out for like 12 issues, everyone loved it, critically acclaimed. There was also CANTO Hollow Man, I think, and then CANTO Volume 2. There's a CANTO Volume 3, so obviously I'm wrong about CANTO. So I'm going to put aside my biases and tell you about the new CANTO series coming out, CANTO and the City of Giants, #1 of 3. We've got written by David H. Boer and art by Sebastian Pires. CANTO has surprised, delighted, and moved readers with tales of the clockwork hero fighting for love, his people, and hope. Yeah, don't rub it in. So anyway, this is a brand new story that is a bridge between CANTO 2, The Hollow Man, and the upcoming CANTO 3. So 3 issues back into the world of this feisty little robot knight, living sentient thing character guy, and yeah, get it. CANTO #1. I'm wrong. Get it. This one's a mouthful. Over at Titan Comics, we've gotten to number 7 on the list. MINKY Woodcock, The Girl Who Electrified Tesla. This is written and art by Cynthia Von Bueller. This is the Robert McGuinness art. One of the things that stood out to me right away, never mind what the plot is and so forth, but this cover just feels amazing to me. It feels like this early 20th century, late 1800s sort of style of art. This very sort of gaunt character, just very interesting cover. Titan's best-selling hardcase crime series is back, a stylish, glamorous, feminist take on the classic gumshoe. Private investigator MINKY Woodcock becomes involved in an investigation of maverick genius and reclusive pigeon fancier Nicholas Tesla, and discovers a horrifying conspiracy involving corrupt politicians and Nazis. We have some interior art, which is made by the writer herself as well. And I like this interior art. It's like very jumbled. giving you this sense of just action, and there's this realism to the art, especially this opening salvo right here, where it's like the Roaring 20s, but I don't think it actually takes place in the 20s. If we're talking about Tesla, yeah, my timelines, but it's a comic book. Don't think too hard. But anyway, a bunch of variant covers. This is over from Titan at number 7. Do you like superheroes that are a little bit washed up? Do you like kaiju? Then I think you might like Jenny Zero #1 of 4 from Dark Horse. This is written by Dave Dwunch and Brockton McKinney, art by Magenta King. Meet Jenny Tetsuo, the hard-drinking, hard-partying daughter of beloved superhero Mega Commander Zero. After washing out of the military's top kaiju killer, Jenny Zero now lives the celebutante life with her hotel heiress and publicist best friend Dana. So she's got to get sober when more kaiju come to attack. Is she going to be able to do it? Is she going to put aside her partying lifestyle to battle the monsters that are threatening us all? Let's see. We've got 4 issues to see if she succeeds or not. And I like chapter 1 here, Party Monster. It works on so many levels. Okay, everyone. I try to keep my content 99% positive. But as I said previously about Kanto, I didn't love Kanto. And now I've also got to admit here, I don't love Charlie Brown. I never liked Peanuts. I watched all of the original Charlie Brown shows when I was little and all of that, but I don't like Charlie Brown. But I'm going to put that aside and bring you to your knowledge that we've got a brand new, never before seen Charlie Brown story coming out this week. Peanuts by Charles Schulz. Scotland Bound, Charlie Brown. Now, this is written by Jason Cooper, adapted from an undiscovered story from the Schulz Studio Archives. So I think that's pretty cool. I don't love Charlie Brown, but there was apparently a full graphic novel length, unproduced feature-length storyboard hidden underneath some trunk in Charles Schulz's attic or something that Boom Studios uncovered, and then they made a brand new original graphic novel about it. Basically, he's traveling to Scotland to meet up with his girlfriend that no one believed that he really has, but I guess he does have. And so we've got Robert Pope as the artist, because this was never drawn by Charles Schulz. This is a brand new artist. Well, this is an artist drawing brand new Charlie Brown comics based on an original Charles Schulz story, adapted by Jason Cooper. We've got a little bit of interior art here, and yeah, you know, it's Charlie Brown-esque. It's this modern style. It's kind of flat colors. I don't find it too interesting. There's a little bit of gradient right there, and yeah, I don't love Charlie Brown. Tell me about it in the comments. You like Charlie Brown? There's a lot of previews here. They're really selling it for you, I guess. Like, trying to convince you. Snoopy's fun. But I don't love Charlie Brown. But you tell me about it. What do you think about it? About Charlie Brown? Do you like it? Did you ever watch his various movies and all of that? Wasn't there like a 3D generated one that everyone hated? I don't know. Tell me what you think. Or am I totally off base and all you're hearing is wah, 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 wah? Tell me about it in the comments. At number 4, let's move over to Aftershock Comics' Phantom on the Scan, written by Cullen Bunn and art by Mark Torres. 20 years ago, a comet fell to Earth. Since that night, Matthew has been haunted by a spirit that gives him incredible psychic abilities, but it's killing him and all of the other psychics that got these powers from the comet. To save himself, Matthew gathers a group of psychics to solve the mystery of their powers before it's too late. No interior art preview, but this cover is amazing. I love these tones, these reds, these purples. I like this upside-down skull. Sort of gives me a bit of that Francis Bacon style of art with those vertical lines of that famous Pope. Remember that Pope painting, Francis Bacon, that he did all these variations of? Anyway, so according to this, the cover artist is Mark Torres, so the interior art is probably on par with this cover art, which I really like, so I hope the interior art is the same. And the plot seems interesting too, so that's why I'm picking it here as number 4 on the list. At number 3, I picked also the WTH Comic Book of the Week from Second Sight Publishing, Freakshow Knight, number 1 of 5. Written by Jonathan Hedrick, art by Stefano Cardoselli. During his time in prison, Red was surrounded by the worst types of people, thieves, rapists, and murderers. Now on the outside, he's surrounded by the living dead. Armed with only the thing he's ever known, violence, Red finds one last chance at redemption for a lifetime of sin. So that's pretty interesting. It's the zombie trope, but with a criminal. No indication here if he's actually guilty for why he's in prison. But now that he's out of prison and knows a life of violence, he's going to put that to good use in battling the zombie plague. Really interesting cover. Sort of this outsider art watercolor style, pretty grotesque actually. We also have another credit here in Dokolamansky, which is not mentioned over here. But I picked this one as number 3 because you might have noticed as you watch my various videos throughout the weeks and years, I have a variety of types of comics that I like, and horror comics are one of my favorite comics as well. So I picked number 3 here from Second Sight Publishing, FREAKSHOW KNIGHT, number 1. We're in the top 2 of the list, and guess what? It might be the top 2 publishers as well. Batman the Detective number 1 of 6, so a brand new Batman comic. I love this cover over here. Hey, what is that? Is that Big Ben in the background? Yes, it is. This is basically Batman traveling to Europe. A horrific tragedy in the UK sends a very personal and deadly message to the Dark Knight, one that will draw Batman out of Gotham City to investigate. He's off to hunt a villain known as Equilibrium. New villains, new allies, 26-page debut story. We've got a variety of variant covers. This is the Andy Kubert cover. Oh, I forgot to mention also Tom Taylor is the writer. Here's the Andy Kubert cover. I thought it came out very nice. He's got sort of like the bulky outfit from, you know, the Snyder movie. And then we've got this really cool Riccardo Federici sketch cover, although it appears to be already at $20 or more. This is the variety of sketch covers that Federici has been doing recently. Very enjoyable sketch covers. I want one of these, but I'm not going to pay $22.50. If you had pre-ordered it in time, though, you probably would have gotten it for cover price, and you would have known to pre-order it if you were subscribed to the YouTube and following my shorts that I publish every Friday that tell you weeks in advance of what's coming, so you can order the comics that you want at your local comic shop for the best price. You're welcome. Anyway, so Batman the Detective number 1 is pick number 2 for this week. Pick number 1 for New Comic Book Day this week is Spider-Man, Spider's Shadow. Once again, one of my biases here. Yes, I love Spider-Man, my favorite superhero. He's not always number 1 on the list, don't worry, but this week he's number 1 because this is a what-if story. What if Peter Parker became Venom? This is written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Pasquale Ferry. This is a Phil Noto cover. To be honest, I usually love Phil Noto covers. I don't love this cover. I think Peter Parker's expression is very weird, but everything else I like. I like the monochromatic black and red with a little bit of the white, actually, that's also tinged red, and the spider sort of like latching onto Peter Parker. It doesn't look like Peter Parker to me. It looks like an old man. I don't know what I'm seeing here. Phil Noto, you always do amazing art. It's over 9,000 times better than me, of course, but I don't love that expression. Instead, we've got these other variant covers. This is the one that I went for, actually. This is the Pasquale Ferry cover, so I like this one. It's the Spider-Man mask, but then it's disintegrating into the Venom symbiote. Pretty cool. I'm not sure why there's like that sort of like marble floor in the background. But anyway, this is a very cool cover. This is the one that I actually did order. And we've got some interior art to enjoy over here. So it's the this Pasquale Ferry interior art that I like. I like how it starts off here. Peter's running. Your best? Is that truly true? If you did your best, then why do so many people you love die, die, die? Ooh, that's just so psychological right there. I'm doing my best. And then it goes on after that. So yeah, this is kind of a cool mashup right here of the black plus the red, and saving grannies and such, and it shows that perhaps the darker impulses of the Venom symbiote are taking over Peter Parker. So I picked this issue number 1 as my top list because I love Spider-Man and I love what-if stories, and Venom is cool, the whole concept of the symbiotes, of course, and I think this is a very cool mashup of those concepts. And perhaps we're getting here the new series of what-if stories coming soon. And that was my top 10 list. What do you think? What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What are you reading that I'm missing? What should I check out? Tell me about it in the comments. And again, consider going over to the Patreon, patreon.com/vmcampos. Join the VMC crew for $1 a month. your pledge really goes a long way, even at $1. At the $2 tier, I'll actually mail you some comic books in appreciation for pledging, or simply follow for free on the Patreon. Or here on the YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell, battle the Minotaur, all that good stuff to be alerted to everything that I do regarding comic books. I do a variety of short comic book videos where at 1 minute at a time I tell you the comics that are coming soon. All of these comics, I talked about them weeks ago when I first put them in my shorts. Be up to date on that if you subscribe on the YouTube. I also do other top 10 lists. I do long-form reviews, history of comics, and so forth. I also do videos on Magic the Gathering, the best game in the world, right here on the YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe for that. And if you like this video, don't forget to go back into the archive for other such videos that you might like. Once again, this has been the weekly VM Campos Comic Book Club, and I'll see you in the comic shops.